Welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. Stay informed with quick, easy-to-listen summaries of our latest articles, perfect for when you're on the go. No reading required. Subscribe for free at mercola.com for the latest health insights.
Hello, and welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. I'm Ethan Foster, your host, and today we'll be discussing how better sleep can balance blood sugar and support memory. We'll explore why sleeping fewer than 6 hours a night leads to glucose swings, how late bedtimes can disrupt your metabolic functions, and what that means for your long-term health. I'm joined by Ilara Sky, who focuses on natural health insights. Ilara, thank you for adding your perspective to this conversation.
Thanks for having me, Ethan. I'm looking forward to explaining how consistent, high-quality sleep is crucial for stabilizing blood sugar and strengthening memory. Researchers have found that even moderate reductions in sleep duration can trigger greater blood sugar swings throughout the day. Over time, that's strongly linked to insulin resistance and an elevated risk of type 2 diabetes.
Let's begin with some background from a JAMA Network Open study. It tracked over 1,000 adults between the ages of 46 and 83 for almost a decade, looking at how their sleep duration and timing affected daily blood sugar regulation. Those who regularly slept fewer than 6 hours showed a notable increase in glycemic variability, meaning their blood sugar spiked and crashed in a more dramatic pattern.
It's interesting to note that late bedtimes were just as significant. Even when people got the recommended 7 to 8 hours, those who stayed up late still had blood sugar levels that rose and fell more erratically. This highlights that your internal clock, the circadian rhythm, matters as much as the total number of hours you're asleep. Consistent misalignment, whether it's short sleep or late-night routines, can add up over time.
Exactly. Even milder cases, like sleeping around 6.5 hours rather than 4 or 5, led to clear impacts on blood sugar control. The body seems to thrive on routine. If you're going to bed late or missing even an hour or two nightly, your metabolic system takes a hit, experiencing highs and lows that can create inflammation and reduce mitochondrial efficiency.
That same dysfunction reaches your brain. Research in molecular psychiatry showed how partial sleep loss can block glucose delivery to key memory centers. During a memory test, individuals who hadn't slept enough used notably less glucose in critical brain regions responsible for memory consolidation. That's not just feeling foggy, your brain genuinely has less energy available to store and recall new information.
And that reduced uptake of glucose could accelerate brain aging. During deep sleep, your brain does housekeeping, trimming, and strengthening neural connections. If you're awake while your brain should be in that maintenance mode, it can't use glucose properly, and that can shift you onto a faster track toward cognitive decline. Over time, that pattern aligns with certain neurodegenerative processes.
It underscores why sleep must be approached as a non-negotiable. Forget the idea that sleep is a luxury. It's as critical as nutrition or exercise. Glucose instability doesn't just make you sluggish. It can harm your metabolic health and short-circuit your ability to remember everyday details. To help people break this cycle, let's talk about practical steps to optimize sleep and realign your circadian rhythm.
The first step is morning light exposure. Aim to get natural sunlight within 30 minutes of waking. Sunlight is the primary signal that sets your internal clock for the day. Without it, your body might remain in an ambiguous state, delaying nighttime melatonin release. That often leads to difficulty falling asleep, and you end up in a cycle of staying up late and feeling tired the next morning.
Second, cut off blue light at or soon after sunset. Modern electronics, phones, TVs, and LEDs emit wavelengths that can trick your brain into thinking it's still daytime. That suppresses melatonin and keeps you wired. A simple solution is swapping bright bulbs for low-intensity red light in your living areas during the evening. By eliminating blue wavelengths, you help your system transition into rest mode and prep your brain for deep sleep.
Third, make your bedroom as dark as possible. Even small sources of illumination, such as a street lamp through thin curtains, can disrupt your circadian signals. Darkness is a crucial trigger for melatonin release. So blackout curtains and removing light-emitting gadgets can make a substantial difference. That consistency leads to better sleep quality and more stable glucose levels come morning.
Fourth, consider your sleep posture and comfort. Sometimes people wake with a sore neck or shoulders. When this happens, it can keep you in a slightly stressed state all night. If possible, try sleeping on your back with a cervical supporting pillow that maintains the natural curve of your neck. This simple adjustment often improves blood flow, reduces tension, and allows deeper, uninterrupted rest that benefits your metabolism.
Finally, establish a wind-down routine. The body responds well to consistent signals. Finishing meals at least 3 hours before bed, lowering the temperature in your room, and finding a relaxing habit, like reading or gentle stretching, can help your mind transition from daytime tasks to nighttime recovery. Over time, this predictable sequence primes your brain to expect and welcome sleep.
Together, these steps help repair metabolic stress and clear out the cognitive clutter that accumulates daily. If late bedtimes or short sleep have been a pattern, these changes can reset your circadian rhythm. For more comprehensive approaches, Dr. Mercola has a list of 50 tips to improve your sleep, which includes details on reducing electromagnetic fields, using specific breathing exercises, and other targeted strategies.
Before we wrap up, let's address some of the biggest questions people have about sleep and metabolic health. For example, a question we hear often is, what happens to your blood sugar when you don't get enough sleep?
The concise answer is that consistent sleep under 6 hours leads to more unstable blood sugar levels. You're more prone to spikes and crashes, which feed into insulin resistance and raise your risk for metabolic problems like type 2 diabetes.
Another common question is, does going to bed late matter if I'm still getting the right amount of hours?
Studies show that late bedtimes can cause greater blood sugar variability, even if you sleep 8 hours. Your internal clock is designed to sync with daylight and darkness. Delaying bedtime misaligns your circadian rhythm, which disrupts insulin and other hormones critical for maintaining stable glucose levels.
I've also heard people ask, how does sleep quality tie into memory and brain function?
Poor quality or insufficient sleep reduces glucose flow to areas of the brain linked to memory formation. That lack of energy impairs your capacity to absorb and retrieve information. You might find yourself forgetting small details or feeling unfocused because your brain didn't get the metabolic resources it needed overnight.
Some wonder if a single night of poor sleep can make a difference. The question is, can one night of bad sleep really affect your blood sugar or memory?
Yes, even partial sleep loss can impair glucose usage in memory-related regions. Over time, recurring short sleep compounds that affect and leads to greater daily blood sugar swings. It might not be noticeable the morning after just one night, but the cumulative impact is significant for both physical and cognitive health.
Finally, which steps can improve sleep and help stabilize blood sugar? We covered them, but to reiterate, expose yourself to sunlight soon after waking, block blue light at night, keep your bedroom dark, ensure good sleep posture, and maintain a consistent routine. Those pillars all play a role in resetting your internal clock and improving brain function.
Right. And small steps lead to major differences in glucose stability, energy levels, and memory function. By prioritizing consistent bedtimes, sufficient sleep duration, and a proper wind-down period, you support your metabolism and cognitive performance. It might seem challenging to adjust your schedule, but the payoff in mental clarity and physical well-being is well worth the effort.
That concludes our discussion on how better sleep supports balanced blood sugar and sharper memory. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. I'm Ethan Foster, reminding you that addressing your sleep isn't a luxury. It's a foundational move for long-term health. And thank you, Alara, for sharing these insights.
It was a pleasure to be here, Ethan. Sleep truly is one of the most powerful tools for maintaining metabolic stability and cognitive vitality. Thank you to everyone listening. We'll be back soon with more direct, in-depth information on taking charge of your health.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe now and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.